two groups in Nigeria that hold the power of numbers are at a disadvantage in Nigeria's democracy, not because they are incapable, but because factors within the political arena do not swing in their favor, and they are women and the youth.
Now, they're not too young to run bill was signed into law by President Muhammadu Buhari, granting younger people access to contest for various positions. The new act has reduced to a great extent the constitutional barrier that stopped youths from achieving their dreams and contributing to the advancement of the country. Now, there is also the 35% affirmative action for women in Nigeria. The policy demands 35% involvement in all governance processes, but presently, women still hold less than 10% of important decision-making positions in the country. But beyond the laws, how favorable is the playing field for women and youth in a nation where money politics, cultural and religious restrictions remain?
Well, joining us to talk about this trend and now for the women folk and including the youth, of course, National Deputy Chairman, Association of Local Government, Vice Chairman of Nigeria, Princess Folashade Olabanji Oba. Thank you very much for joining us.
It's nice to have you join us.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning to you. Talking about this trend of not favorable participation of women actively in politics, what's your experience like? If I could use that phrase, how would you explain this?
Wow. Well, you mentioned all the weaknesses, but then the strengths. I think it's really more about the woman making up her mind to truly occupy her place. Nobody said it's going to be easy. I wouldn't say it has been easy so far. But then I was, from day one, resolute. Like I wanted to make a difference. I wanted to be sure that I am a blessing to this great country. And so no matter the challenges, I always saw the end of it. Because I know sooner or later, you have to grow up and know how to maneuver yourself, above it.
So that's looking at the bigger picture.
Yeah, you must see the bigger picture.
All right. Now, I like the way you say, well, the barriers are there, but you have to look at the strengths. Now, amongst or within the presence of all of these barriers, you were able to stand out as one person amongst millions of women. We know there are so many other hundreds of women out there, thousands of women out there who are also doing, they are pulling their own weight. But if we look at the fair play, if we look at the field and look at the ratio and all of that, will you conclude that a lot of women are not pulling their weight and that is where the missing link is?
Yes.
Okay.
We're not doing enough. A lot of us are scared. They're like, I don't want to be, crushed. I don't want, but power is not served a la carte. And really, you have to truly occupy your place. And I think it starts from the home. And the way we even raise our children, the boys and the girls. And, from day one, you make a woman like you can only be second fiddle. For me, I was raised more like a boy because I was the first child. And my father was like, oh, you're a girl, but you have to do everything. You have to be able to persevere. You have to be able to take it and stand up for everybody. So I was like a little tomboy. But the heart is what is most important. The heart is caring, loving, nurturing. Women are built to nurture, to be the best, to be loyal, to give their very best. But most times, because you see the initial hurdle, you're like, I don't want to go there.
Well, are they not genuine, these hurdles, talking about for many women out there, they'll look at you. How do you cope with all those late night meetings always come first in the minds of women who are outside? So, but are these concerns, this challenge is not genuine?
They are, but it takes daily encouragement. That's what I call it. Because no 2 days are the same, and every day with its own. And my favorite word is, this too shall pass. I've got work to do. And so no matter what, you know, as a woman, you would have your weakness. If you must cry, cry, but get it done. Put on your pancakes and face it, okay? The bigger picture is like you stole that word out of my heart, because you must see the benefits. It must outweigh the initial or instant gratification that we all want to get, you know? And we are here for all of us. And if you have that at the back of your mind, everybody doing their bits, you will know that what you are doing, truly, truly, a lot more people depend on it. And so it's not just about you.
All right. What is the role of culture and religion in all of this? Because that is one peculiar thing about Africans and maybe even Nigerians.
Yes.
Because when it comes to women emancipation or women or feminism, all of those things that put women awareness up there, we tend to look at the West and keep Africa here because we have our cultures, we have, you know, our peculiarities and all of that. But what is the role of culture, which is the beauty of Africa on one hand, but how is it maybe hampering that emancipation of women if we have to jog them side by side?
Well, I'm glad I'm fully African. But obviously, I was raised, I mean, with over 25 years abroad. Definitely, I have mixed orientation.
So
but,
you're balanced?
Yes, but I love my Nigerian part. I celebrate my heritage every day. It's the reason that keeps me going. And so the beauty about it is, if you see limitations, you're going to have limitations. It's a perception, the way you look at it.
It's just a mindset.
Yeah, it's a mindset. Okay, so the cultural things, yes, the baggage, you're supposed to not do certain things as a woman and all that. But also, the good side is, as a woman, you also get to indulge. You also get away with much more. So not thinking just because you have a pretty face, but in added value. And so when you think, oh, because I'm a woman, I can just, you know, have things served on my plate, like get everything. No, you must be bringing something to the table, you know. And so see a way of aligning in your community, making sure you play your part, supporting, you know. It doesn't have to be only your children or your sisters, whatever, but if you're saying you want the best, make sure you yourself, you're the very best. Be that change you want to see.
Well, you just
and it
said,
makes a difference.
Now that, I want to take you up on what you just said earlier, where you said women can get away with a lot of things. That would have some positive and negative aspects. Talk to us about that. We've seen women who have reached high positions in government, but of course the system of corruption, you know, we still see women also, you know, falling prey to the system of corruption, so to speak. But how can we make this positive away from the negatives now for women who are aspiring to enter politics fully?
Well, I mean, first you have to change the mindset, the stereotyping, like politics is dirty, I don't want to touch it. And so you've got to come with a fresh mind, like no matter what it is, I am here to make that positive difference. And so the negatives are there, you know, you will look at corruption, whatever, but you're meant to be a role model, okay? I'm sure in politics you cannot do without leadership, and you cannot be a good leader without being a good follower. So you must align with leaders of repute that you know you can emulate certain greatness from them, you can learn from them. So you take the good and drop the bad. It depends on which cow you want to feed that's going to be fat. So, yes, it's all there, whichever way you want to go. And I think most times, given the opportunities, the women will always do more. Honestly,
I think I agree with you. I agree with you on that. When you say given the opportunities, the women will do more. But unfortunately, the opportunity is there. But like you said, it can be served A la carte. Now, but let's come back to the politics and the involvement. If you look at the lines of voters out there on the voting day, you find more women. If you have to put the ratio together,
yes,
you find more women who are ready to go out. Even in the churches, if you count it, the ladies, the women are more. When it comes to the number of those who are contributing, the women are more, and all of that. So when it comes to those who actually wield the power of who becomes the president, who becomes a governor, or senator, or any, it lies more in the women. Now, the challenge is the women now having the knowledge of the fact that we have that power, and so let us come together, because it is the togetherness or the cohesion that is absent. What is a place of trust and that consciousness amongst women, knowing that we as women, women wield that power, and for them to come together to, wield that power that is required to decide who becomes what? What is the missing link in that trust there, where women are not consciously coming together deliberately for that reason?
I think you hit the home run on that word. Effective opportunity. A lot of us, don't have. But not quitting either is something that we must imbibe seriously from the heart, that no matter how it gets, you must stay on course, okay? And most times women get discouraged at some point, saying you've put in so many years, it's not matching up to what you're doing. What am I, why am I wasting my time?
Do you think the women and the men are wired differently when it comes to accepting defeat and looking at the picture, that picture you're talking about, and not giving up? You think we're wired differently?
Yeah, we tend to say that the men are more built for the rugged roads, okay? But really, I think it's the women that are really built for the rugged roads, because we take so much more, and yet we still stand tall.
Okay.
Still on the issue of active women participation in politics, there's also another critical arm that's about the youth, how the youth can realize the power they have and build on it. Let's put you on hold for a moment, madam, and then get the views of a young politician and lawyer, Tosi Akode. It's good to have you join us on the show this morning. What do you have to say about the active youth participation in politics? We've seen the numbers now, 51%, so to speak, now between the ages of 18 to 35%. How do we build on this?
Well, good morning, and how are you today too?
Nice to have you join us, Tosin.
It's all right. Yeah, well, my very, very firm opinion is that the young people, despite the fact that they have a preponderant figure in terms of population, in the polity, they are not ready to take governance to a next level. They are not. And I'm speaking from personal experience in this present dispensation. So a lot of them would rather be on Facebook and on the social media, but that's not where the election will take place. All right, that's one. Then so many of them are ill-equipped. So many young people are not prepared. You see, the task of governance exceeds daily upgrade in the ordinary course of business affairs. You have to be above board, morally speaking, if not academically, but at least morally speaking. Social wealth has got to be established. You have got to be wide. You've got to be abreast of information, abreast of developments elsewhere, and you don't compare unnecessarily. They say, for example, in Austria, the president is 31. We are not confronted with the same social realities as Austria. Okay, so you see many of these young people, in my humble opinion, and summarily put, they are just not ready yet. And then there is that tendency which I think I coined. The African DNA seems to have whittled down and has been passed. In Africa, we pass things orally. We have oral tradition. And so that tendency to be wicked, there is this infighting tendency, there is this jealousy thing amongst young people. Can't you see what happened to the association of those who want to be presidents, who are presumed to be, young? You see, they come up with one person and then the other says, no, I'm pulling out. After there's been an initial agreement that, okay, if we all, surrender our personal aspirations and desires, whoever emerges is the one we are going to rally around.
All right, Tosin, let me ask you this.
This has happened.
Yeah.
And nothing has come out of it solid.
All right. Tosin, let me stay with you.
Really.
Yeah, Tosin, let me stay with you on this. When you started and you said that a number of young people are not ready, I like to underline the word not ready, or the phrase not ready. Yeah. Now, when it comes to readiness, in what area of readiness is that, especially when we are likening it to, or we're talking in terms of politics? Is it the tactic, or is it the experience, or is it the education, or is it the finance? Can you talk to us in what area precisely?
Mike, I'm going to be unsparing. I'll tell you the truth as it is. You see, truth is, young people, when I say they are not ready, you know, there's this belief that we are not too young to run. We are also not ready at all to even run. That's the issue. I looked at the APC campaign in some parts of Lagos yesterday, not the presidential now, for House of Reps, for senatorial and what have you. And I saw old women. I saw even young people as well running around for these people who presumably, many of them, with due respect, do not have what it takes to occupy leadership, or to occupy government offices. Do you get what I'm trying? With due respect, I have said, with due respect. So you see, I'm yet to see the campaign trail of Feladurotoye, for example, Feladurotoye, who has a lot of followership amongst young people. I haven't heard. Even the media has maybe the media hasn't treated the young people well, the young segment of this polity well, because we've been talking about the APC rally of Buhari, that of Atiku. I'm yet to hear of the APC rally of Buhari. Showore started with a lot of momentum. Maybe I'm wrong, but I haven't. The thing is not up to the level as being talked about in the media, in the social media, in the regular media by everybody, as they have been talking about Atiku and Buhari. So even if at all, let's give young people the benefit of the doubt that they are ready. Even the Nigerian system seems not to be ready for them.
But Tosin, you won't say that for you. When you came with your political aspirations, now you joined Yes Solidarity Group. Now we did give you that voice.
No.
Sit here and again talking about.
Please don't get me wrong.
Yes,
yes, but what I'm saying in essence,
that's even a lead.
The campaign train,
right?
The campaign train, not the visibility. There's a difference between.
That's even a link to my question, my next question, Tosi.
Yes.
I want to know what it has been for you now. You've talked about vehemently now about the youth not being ready, but how far with your campaign? What's been the reception for you in Lagos now, where you are seeking a political position?
Oh well, thanks. To be very honest with you, the few friends I have in the media have been very helpful. Okay, so the platform through which I'm speaking also is through someone's link and so on and so forth. And thank God, because the ability to proliferate and pontificate is also there. But the thing is, from experience, I said at the beginning that from experience, you won't see young people come out. You won't see them come out. They would not. But they will be content with wishing you well on the social platforms there are, WhatsApp and what have you. That doesn't and would not count to electoral victory. And that's why I am saying that young people appear not ready yet for the task of governance. You have to brave all odds. You go to places. At a point, I was supervising the pasting of my posters myself. People won't come out to do. You have to do it. And many Nigerian young people are not ready for all of that. To them, it beneath them.
All right. We have to leave it here now. Tosin Akonde, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you too, Mike, and my lovely sister.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Soon.
All right.
Let's
bring it back to the studio now. Princess Folashade is here. Now, this agitation where there seemed to be some conscious encouragement of women on one hand, youth on the other, but especially women now, there seemed to be conscious encouragement, conscious nudge, conscious push for them to go out there. And then the way some of the women are taking it, which is good, but do you think it is pitching the women against the men, when sometimes it is said that the men are not giving the women the opportunity, the opportunity is not there, the level playing field is not there, created by, and all of that. Do you think it's pitching the sexes against each other?
No.
Okay.
I mean, for me, I'm more for the equal opportunity. And so It's not about feminism, just, you know, no. And really, you cannot give what you don't have.
Yeah, exactly.
So it is very important that we're now building the women as well, because it's the capacity building that's going to make a difference at the end of the day. And not just because you're a woman. It is, as a woman, what are you bringing to the table, you know? So that aspect, changing that narrative, I think it's really important.
I want to get your final thoughts now on how healthy it's been now with what we see on ground for women looking out for each other, for themselves, for women out there. What's been done now to, you know, attract now, to engage women on the other side now? What's your take on that?
I think before it's been said that we were our own problems, because a lot of the DNAs that we have among us women does not support really one another. But I think that's changing now. We're having all this group, you know, educating, supporting, you know, changing the narratives and letting them know that it's a numbers game. The more, the better. And if we can all come together, we can actually, you know, see the Nigeria of our dreams. And I think that message is doing the work now. And you're seeing more of us coming now, talking and all that. And I think it's going to get a lot better.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
We look forward to greater days ahead where women will, you know, roll the decisions just as it is in Rwanda. Rwanda is a good example when it comes to the modern days. Princess Folashade or Olabanji Oba, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much.
We wish you all the best as you go forward.
Thank you.